Ladies and gentlemen, our friend Max Kellerman is online. He does the Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul. It's from The Ringer. It's on Netflix and wherever you get your podcast. Max, how you been, man? What's going on?
I've been well. By the way, what kind of a promo is that? The guy calls up telling you guys how great you are, and your comment is, "Oh, that's so nice." What kind of a response is that?
By the way,
I expect more from you two.
You know, we hear it every day, Max. We hear that exact same promo every day, probably at that time, so it's hard to react gracious. By the way, it's Jay Moore. I wanted to point that out. That's Jay Moore saying all those nice things about us in that promo.
Okay, all right. I admit it changes a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm sure you watched last night. Where are we with this Lakers team? Clearly, just not a good night. Austin Reeves not good. Luke Kennard disappeared. How do you feel about where the Lakers are right now?
I'm a little more bullish on their chances right now than a lot of people I've been talking to. Like, hey, is it possible they're going to collapse up 3-0? Look, a couple of things happened last night. First of all, they're up 3-0 on the road. LeBron is 67 years old. You know, he's doing this incredible thing with a cast of characters, and it's not like I'm not disparaging the Lakers players, but because they're rotation pieces on a good team. But there's not a single, arguably not a single other average starter when Reeves and Luka aren't there. They're, you know, like by average, I mean, you know, they're 30 teams. Are they between, let's say, 12 and 18? Maybe they're between 10 and 20, right? But they're more teams that they wouldn't start for than teams that they would. And I think that's putting it kind of generously, right? And LeBron takes that crew to a 3-0 lead. I know KD only really played he played a game, but it was really
sort of
one half
yeah.
of a KD game, right? Yeah. But still, that's amazing. Now, at 67 years old, having done all that on the road, might he be a little gassed? Yeah. Then you come home and, hey, you get Reeves back. But Reeves is actually, even though he fits in well, that's a big piece to reintegrate. They had a lead. They could have won the game. Just got Reeves back. I think the Lakers close this thing out. I think they do it on the road.
They do it in 6 tomorrow night. Boy, I love the way you're thinking.
I do.
I love the way you're thinking. Because here's the thing.
I think they're a little better.
We're up 3-2, and all I'm thinking is, God, I feel like we're on the ropes up 3-2. It's the weirdest feeling.
Yeah. But look, Kennard is not – he had like a point. Last
yeah,
night.
1 point.
He's been feeling himself ever since he dropped to 27, right? And he had 20-something, 23 maybe. He followed that up with a couple nights later. Kennard is not going to miss his shots every time. You know, you have Reeves back. It kind of throws everything off a little bit because guys' roles do change a little. But Reeves should help like Jackson Hayes in the pick and roll and those kind of – like he should help. You got to look, when Embiid got back for Philly, he was an offensive juggernaut, but it didn't look the same, right? Because he's playing at one speed, Maxi's playing at another, they get blown out. And now that they had a game to integrate or reintegrate Embiid, they look really good the next game. You got to give the Lakers, like I had a feeling that game with Reeves coming back might not go their way. They almost won it. I think they close this out in 6.
This is one of the concerns I have, Max. As you noted, LeBron being 67 years old, obviously old to be playing NBA basketball. They need him to have, potentially at least, a type of superstar game. Like I'm going to put everyone on my back. If for whatever reason what's happened in games 3 through 5 continues, do you think he still has that game in him, like on command?
I don't – like the kind of superstar game would change. Like it's not going to be 35 and 18 or something crazy, right? But he can play a great point guard. I think the Lakers really found something when LeBron was on ball. You know, because no Luka, because no Reeves. Earlier in the season, Rich and I were talking about the fact that if LeBron is just kind of super Karl Malone, he could play forever. And, you know, he could be the role man. And he has the high IQ ability to not be the ball handler there and to know exactly what to do. And he can hit the outside shot and all this. But it was a kind of slower paced, not everybody involved kind of game. But with LeBron as the point guard, John, he was like, he can have one of these great point guard type or point forward type games. And I think they can win. How about this one, guys? Who has the best player on either team? I think LeBron right now is, like, without KD around, I think he's slightly better than Şengün.
I agree.
I think he's the best player on either team, right? Then you might go Şengün, and then you might go Reeves. You might go Thompson. They're very, he's a big, incredible athlete.
Yeah, Thompson's
but
unbelievable.
Overall game, I think I go Reeves. So Lakers have two of the best three players in the series. I don't know if LeBron needs to go supernova. He needs to go kind of super brilliant leader guy. And guys, again, they almost won Game 5.
Yep.
It was, they came close.
So Game Over with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul is the show. I would imagine that you know all the secrets of LeBron James. Tell us a secret about LeBron that nobody else knows that you've learned from Rich Paul. Tell us one thing that you know that nobody else does.
Secret? I don't know. Is it a secret that he has a golf simulator?
No, he's talked about that.
No, he's like golf crazy right now. He's golf crazy right now.
Betray Rich Paul's confidences, Max. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah,
right
exactly. Tell us all the stuff that Rich has told you privately.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course, yeah. That's exactly what I'm about.
Let me ask you about Wemby. So Wemby had this moment when they beat Portland where he got very, very emotional, and there were a few tears, and that's not the first time he's done it. He got a lot of criticism for that, and a French writer.
The French, am I right?
Yeah. Don't go back to the war. Listen, this is the way Wemby responded when he was asked about being mocked for his tears. That's a tough question. I think it's a little, first and foremost, a fear of judgment, like this feeling that you have to act a certain way, social codes, I guess. Personally, I refuse to carry the burden of having to hide my emotions. I love that answer. And I don't know why people would criticize Wemby for caring too much.
Listen, let me tell you something about Wemby. Wemby, if he keeps doing this, it's like, what he does becomes the thing that you can do. He's like, he'll decide what's okay. The unwritten rules, Wemby's going to write them right now. Wemby is the first player since LeBron, and I don't think LeBron quite got there. I think he got close. But the first player since LeBron who I look at and I go, can he ever be better than Michael Jordan? Like, greater. Can he be the GOAT and not MJ? I think the GOAT is decisively Michael Jordan. I think LeBron is decisively right next to him. And I look at Wemby and I think, man, as long as he stays healthy, it's going to be like he might be the guy. And when that guy is around, if he's winning championships and you look the way the Spurs are put together and run, you think there's a hell of a chance they'll win championships. He can do whatever he wants, and that becomes the thing. Who the hell can tell Wemby anything?
Right.
The thing I always think about is this version of Wemby, this is the crappy version compared to what it's going to be like in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, when he becomes...
Like, this is the version we're going to look back at Wemby and be like, man, he had no clue.
It's unbelievable. He's like, I think he's the best player in basketball. I know the last time they matched up with the Nuggets, it wasn't great for him, but Joker can run your whole offense, but like, if Wemby's having an off night on the offensive end, and his offense is ridiculous, he's not a 4 or a 5. He's really a small forward. Mm-hmm. He just happens to be 7.5 feet, right? He's AD and KD and a half a foot had a baby, and that's Wemby, right?
Yep.
So his offense is so smooth at that size, and he goes hard to the basket, and he's aggressive, and he can shoot the three, and he's just willing to play team ball, all those things. But if it's not working on that end, he's defensively unlike anything we've ever seen. He's like Hakeem Olajuwon at his best, plus half a foot. It's just, he's incredible to watch. And the only thing, look, even just a fall from 7.5 feet, right? Nothing with like a ligament or anything. It's like, oh my God, the way he hit his face. So I think they have to take really good care of him. They have to tell him, like you tell a quarterback to slide, hey, dude, you're not jumping for any loose balls. Calm down. You're too valuable.
Yeah.
But if he can stay healthy, oh, my God.
I want to ask you one last thing. Let's suppose, and this is a total hypothetical. Let's suppose Oklahoma City goes to the Western Conference Finals. Again, that's a hypothetical. I have no idea if it's going to happen. Yeah. Let's suppose that San Antonio, again, just a hypothetical, they get to the Western Conference Finals.
Try to wrap your head around this, Max.
In a matchup,
no, he's like Nostradamus over here.
In a matchup like that, who would you favor, Wemby or OKC?
I okay, this is crazy, and maybe it's because I'm wishing it because I think Wemby's incredible. I favor San Antonio. They were better in the regular season head-to-head, and it was pretty consistently like that. I think they have the best player on either team. And I think also, like, Castle's development as a guy who can also already give you a little more offense than you're expecting, this early is a big thing. They at a certain point, you got to believe what you're seeing. They've been the best team in basketball basically over the second half of the season. And especially if Jalen is not 100%, is not on the floor for OKC, it's not quite the same. Now, all that said, OKC is like maybe the deepest team of all time.
Yes.
They don't have a single guy on that entire squad who can't really play basketball.
Yep.
So, like, they have that. But I don't know. In the playoffs, that's not as important as your, front eight guys. And I like San Antonio.
Yeah, me too. Again, that's just hypothetically if it winds up that way.
Yeah. Of course.
I got some advice for people. So, we have a great afternoon show. It's DeMarco and Travis. Immediately after that show tonight at 6 p.m., I want to advise everybody to go to Netflix and watch Game Over with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul. Make some room for it in your evening.
Well, they're part of the Ringerverse.
Yeah, part of the Ringerverse, exactly. Max, it's a great show. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
I like your optimism about the Lakers. I like that optimism, man.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
All right.
I think they close it out.
Cool. Thanks for doing this, man. There's Max Kellerman.
I miss seeing Max.
I do too.
Like, Max was a lot of fun to work with.
He was. Max is one of the smartest people. I'm glad he's not listening to this.
You're not.
He's the second smartest person I ever worked with.
Who's the smartest?
Now, you're expecting me to say John Ireland, probably.
No, I'm not. I'm asking who's
You're
the smartest.
correct. I'm not going to say John Ireland. It's Jim Lampley.
Yes, you have said that many times.